Hare Krishna. Welcome to Wisdomful Wednesday. It's a very important, crucial topic which is bugging the whole mankind, especially the youngsters who are thinking about it. A shocking news on this was recently when I read close to 1 million people discuss about suicide on ChatGPT AI. Really shocking. What is the spiritual perspective? Why it's a worst act of sin? What's the solution? We'll discuss in the today's presentation.
ChatGPT.
It's ChatGPT.
The AI chatbot ChatGPT.
Adam's parents have launched a lawsuit against OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman, alleging the AI chatbot ChatGPT provided detailed suicide instructions to a minor.
1 million. That's how many people talk to ChatGPT about suicide every single week. More than 1 million people every week.
Suicide has become a global crisis of the mind. Across the world, suicide has become one of the leading causes of death among young people. According to World Health Organization, WHO, more than 7 lakh people die by suicide every year. It's now the 4th leading cause of death among youngsters, especially those between age of 15 to 29. Every day, thousands of young people express distress and hopelessness online. Even on platforms like ChatGPT, where over 1 million users have reportedly discussed topics related to depression and suicidal thoughts. These numbers reveal a painful reality of the modern society. Despite extreme material advancement, they are facing a deep spiritual emptiness, especially with the youth, often overburdened with pressure, loneliness, and confusion, are seeking meaning but rarely find it through material success or technology. This is where Srila Prabhupada's teachings and the timeless Vedic wisdom from the scriptures offer profound guidance and hope. Point number 1 which I want to discuss here is, this is the precious human form of life. We have gotten this after transferring the Atma through 80 lakh species. Among the 84 lakh species, we circumambulate in the cycles. And finally, we got this rare human birth where we can understand, question the purpose and the existence of life. Srila Prabhupada explained that this human form of life is rare and a sacred opportunity meant for self-realization and returning to our eternal relationship with Krishna and going back home, back to God. But unfortunately, we are not utilizing this rare human birth for the highest cause which is meant for. Prabhupada in one of the discourses, he says this human form of life especially is meant for understanding God. If we misuse this opportunity, it is the greatest loss. Today, unfortunately, youngsters, in the name of pleasure and seeking happiness, they are seeking in a wrong way, in a wrong place, through a wrong means. And that's why they're getting frustrated. Taking one's own life prematurely is therefore not a solution, but a great spiritual tragedy, the destruction of an invaluable chance to attain real happiness. When you give up, it's not that it's all over, because the Atma is eternal. This brings to the second point. The soul is eternal. Death does not end your suffering. In fact, if you are supposed to be in the body as the Atma for say 60 years, you commit suicide at the age of 20, for the next 40 years, the Atma is bereft of this gross body and he has to suffer the consequences. In the subtle body, it roams around. For the Atma to enjoy independently of the Lord, the body has been given, but the soul has taken this decision under so much pressure or depression, it has to suffer. The suffering doesn't end because the body is finished. The suffering becomes further exponentially high when he does this sinful act of giving up. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that you are not the body, you are spirit soul. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He is not slain when the body is slain. The body is temporary. The body gets finished, but the Atma transmigrates to another body. So according to one's own karma, you are supposed to live in this body for a particular duration of life. And when you don't do so and quit and commit suicide, the Atma has to suffer. And it has to go, because it identifies with the body, it identifies a subtle body, all those expressions of love and feeling, hunger, it's all there, but it is not able to do so. So Srila Prabhupada writes that in his books that soul cannot be killed. Suicide only destroys the body, not the suffering that arises from material ignorance. When one leaves the body unnaturally, the same mental distress continues, often in the subtle form, and that leads to ghostly bodies. The ghosts are those living entities, souls without the gross body. Currently our personality is made up of gross body and subtle body. Gross body is made up of the Panchabhutas, earth, air, fire, ether, and water. These are the 5 Panchabhutas which the body is made up of. This is gross body. So beyond the gross body is a subtle body, which is a software, which is mind, intelligence, and the ego. So when you quit, when you commit suicide, you hurt the body remains here, but the body becomes unfit for the soul to live in. The soul transmigrates. Supposed to transmigrate when it is a natural death, when your course is over, but when you quit, before that, it has to stay in that body. But the body is unfit for it to stay. You have destroyed very badly. No, it cannot go anywhere. And that is the most painful existence of the soul ever. So Prabhupada warned us, one who commits suicide becomes a ghost, is not even given another gross body until the time has destined, death has come. Because 40 years he has to stay. When after 40 years, he gets the next body. Such a soul suffers deeply in the subtle body, unable to take new birth until the natural end of their allotted lifespan. This emphasizes that suicide does not end pain, it only prolongs it. So problem is the root cause. What is the root cause? The cause of it is ignorance. हमें पता ही नहीं कि हम आत्मा है. Entire modern philosophy, theistic philosophy, even the so-called modern science can't get this correct. They understand that this is their body, and when the body stops working for reasons they know, they understand that body, once it's finished, it's over. There is no soul, there is no God, and everything is a combination of matter, and it is caused by lust. But actually, in reality, this is not so. Of course, we can have a different session altogether to prove that you are not the body or spirit soul. But coming to the suicide, people in general think that once I finish it off, because they do commit suicide because many reasons are there. They think that I didn't get what I want. There is a failure in examination. There's a failure in their relationship. There are many reasons for that. But come what may, they should understand that whatever they are going through is their karma. And when they go through the pain, it's actually purification. Any sufferings is actually a purification. Any enjoyment is actually a punishment. Only when come to this understanding that I am Krishna's, only when I work in that consciousness, I will be blissful and happy. As long as I'm in the body concept of life, kuch bhi kar lo, you'll never be happy. Young kids, as young as 8 years old, 10 years old, 13 years old, 16 years old, just because they didn't get the marks or someone scolded them, someone tease them, whether teacher, parents, friends, or even online bullying, they give up. Because this education has to be taught from the beginning. Kaumaram Achrut Pragna, Prahlad Maharaj says that from the age of 5, this knowledge has to be given. Unfortunately, all across the globe, this knowledge is not shared at all. Aristotle was asked by a mother of 6 years old that what is the right age to start educating in spiritual life, or even normally otherwise also. When should I start sending my child to the school? Aristotle said, rush lady, rush, you're already 6 years late. Mean to say, this begins right within the womb of the mother. It's a responsibility of the parents to educate the child even within the womb. So the mother and the child's responsibility to educate it. Even if they're not educating, it's their responsibility when the child grows up to give them Krishna consciousness. Unfortunately, all across the globe, including India, this is a challenge. Even kids of the devotees, you find it difficult, but it's a responsibility. But even little bit of Krishna consciousness, nobody will take up this kind of a disastrous act. The difficulty is our modern education. It does not teach what is soul, what is the goal of life. Therefore, when frustration comes, they think life is finished. 1 mark, not being a topper, not getting sufficient likes and views. Just imagine, they don't know this valuable human form of life is being gotten after going through this different species of life. When young people especially, of course, modern world, everyone identifies. But when they identify only with the body, they base happiness on temporary things. Grades, relationship, appearance on social media, and peer approval. When all these fail, they lose hope because there's nothing beyond the bodily things. Maximum at a mind level, some relational pleasure. So real knowledge means understanding, Apun Sharir nahi, I am not the body, I am eternal soul, part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna. Now, how do you overcome this despair? Through real therapy, real counseling is Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada describes Krishna consciousness as the true health of the soul. Soul is meant for that. That is his constitutional make. That is what it is designed for. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. It is eternal servant of Krishna until and unless the soul, youngsters, elderly people, whoever it is, in the human form of life, doesn't come to this platform and doesn't act on this platform, there is no hope for their true blissful life. They will come to despair. They will give up. And especially in the current times when the families are shrinking, the values are shrinking, the youngsters especially, they just want to gratify at any cost. This is going to be in huge numbers, 1 million in a week in ChatGPT. It's startling. So how do I overcome the despair? Simple method, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is a medicine for this age. It gives you peace, satisfaction, and the joy to the soul. And the soul becomes blissful. You see, devotees, they are bright-faced, they are wonderful, they are joyful. Krishna Bhakta Prasannatma, na sochati na kankshati. They are blissful, they are prasanna Atma. Atma which is prasanna. Of course, Atma is always prasanna, but identifying with the body, it conditioned itself to the pains of the temporary material conditions. That conditioning has to overcome. I have to identify this understanding that I am the body has to be reworked out, and it's not difficult. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the spiritual nature of the soul gets reawakened, rekindled. That's a potency. The name of the Lord has so powerful that it invokes even the natural knowledge automatically. But even then, if we have still doubts, we can refer to these books which is compiled by Srila Prabhupada. 80 odd books, thousands of lectures, thousands of letters and discourses and conversations, ample amount of ammunition. In fact, there are many devotees who wanted to quit before they came into Krishna consciousness. One book saved them. Classical example is IIT Bombay alumnus, His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu, the chairman of Akshaya Patra Foundation, president of ISKCON Bangalore. He had written a suicide note and he was about to commit suicide, jumping from the administrative building of IIT Bombay. But he had the habit of visiting the library every day in the night. He happened to do the same ritual before he did this, took this decision. And fortunately, that day he came across the book of Srila Prabhupada called Krishna book. Once he started reading those books, and he clearly understood the purpose and goal of, in just few pages of reading this transcendental book, and he decided not to do so. Later on, his professor had called him that hope they are alive, and he was and because of this Prabhupada's teaching, Prabhupada saved his life. Not only through him, because through him he made a lot of youngsters take up Krishna consciousness seriously, and this message of Krishna consciousness is spread all across the globe. So that's what one person who's in Krishna consciousness can make. There's a disparity, there's a challenge, there's a pain, there's a lamentation, there's a hankering, there's a vacuum in the hearts of youngsters. The only hope is this message of Krishna consciousness, this taste in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Just do this practical thing and things will become easier, and you'll not be frustrated, you'll not be pissed off, you'll be joyful and blissful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Additionally, associate with devotees. We have opened centers all across the globe. Swami Prabhupada said, just for this purpose, to give devotees, give people a chance to hear from devotees and associate with Krishna. And spiritually minded people engage in devotional service, practical devotion service, meaningful devotional service, selfless activities which purifies the heart. That is starting from Shravanam, Kirtanam, hear about it, hear about Krishna consciousness, glorify the Lord, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, preach about, read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. This gives you the conviction. This gives you the wisdom, knowledge by which we can act. Otherwise, we are always perplexed and confused. Arjuna was on the path of spiritual suicide by not ready to fight the battle. But 15 minutes of Bhagavad Gita, 45 to 50 minutes of Bhagavad Gita transformed his life. He understood the purpose and goal of life is to satisfy Krishna. And he was a completely transformed person. He was perplexed, confused, disheartened. His Gandiva was slipping. He sat down. He said, I'll not fight. He has given up all the hope. He was completely enamored by ignorance and nescience. But 45 minutes of guidance given by Krishna completely transformed him. He understood the higher purpose. Through this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the heart awakens to a higher happiness. Param drishtva nivartate, rasavarjam rasopyasya. The darkness of despair is replaced by the transcendental message of Krishna consciousness. So that's a duty of every devotee. That's compassion. It's a compassion. That's what Prabhupada did to all of us. Para dukkha dukkhi. He is unhappy when others are unhappy. When others suffer, a devotee shows compassion. The devotee is always kind to everyone, even to the most fallen. He tries to give them Krishna. Krishna in the form of holy name, prasadam, deities, kirtans, various transcendental means to attract every condition soul to come to Krishna consciousness. So our role is to listen, encourage and uplift, helping others and rediscover their divine connection with Krishna through love and service. If we do that, friends of Lord Krishna, folk, if all of you who are hearing this, who have been impacted by the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, it's our responsibility to go out and preach this message. That's the only hope. That's a real hope, to take shelter of Krishna. Krishna gives the ultimate assurance in the Bhagavad Gita. He is telling the Supreme Lord, Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, Purna Purushottama Shri Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is declaring, give up every varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Ma Sucha, Supreme Lord is giving assurance. What else do we want? And that assurance Krishna is giving. And when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and associate with devotees, that conviction that Krishna will protect. Avashya Rakshime Krishna Vishwasa Ye Palanam. That faith we should have that Krishna will definitely protect us irrespective of whatever conditions we go through. This shall too pass. If one takes shelter of Krishna, even the greatest hopelessness is removed. He becomes fearless Abhaya. Swami Srila Prabhupada single-handedly did that. He was all alone in New York, 70 years old man with hardly any finances, with hardly any support, but had the faith in Guru, in his Gurus, Bhakti Siddhanta and Krishna. He did it on his own. No matter how broken life may seem, Krishna never rejects anyone who turns to him sincerely. If you seriously, sincerely, strictly chant the names of the Lord, definitely Lord will save us. You are not this body, you are an eternal soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Your life has a divine purpose to awaken his love for him. Your love for him has to be awakened. Your love for Krishna has to be awakened. If that is there, even if everything seems dark, remember Krishna is with us. He loves us. Just turn to him, chant his names, and you will never be alone. So encourage young people to talk openly about mental and emotional struggles and seek both spiritual and professional help when in distress. Find shelter in devotional practices, associate with devotees and render practical devotional service. And sometimes come to our temple and just participate in the kirtan. Depression kya hota hai? Bhul jayenge aap. So with this short class, I stop it here.